UK-based Jane's Defense Weekly, citing satellite imagery sources, says India has quietly launched its third Arihant-class nuclear-powered missile submarine at the secretive Shipbuilding Center (SCB) in Visakhapatnam. In its December 29th report, the magazine declared that the submersible ballistic nuclear submarine (SSBN), known simply as S-4, was launched on November 23rd and had been relocated to near the fitting-out wharf that was presently occupied by INS Arigat, the second such nuclear-armed missile submarine. The Indian press had not reported the S-4 SSBN's launch. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why India's new S-4 ballistic missile submarine would be the most powerful arrow in its quiver. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. The Arihant class, meaning the Slayer of Enemies, is a class of nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines being built for the Indian Navy under the Advanced Technology Vessel Project. Developed jointly by the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO), the Department of Atomic Energy (DAE), select Indian Navy personnel, and Russian scientists and technicians, this class of the submarine will form the third leg of India's nuclear triad, which is the ability to launch nukes from land, air, and sea. INS Arihant is the first vessel of this class, and it's India's first indigenous ballistic missile submarine. It displaces around 6,000 tons and has a length of 365 feet or 111 meters. It's powered by an 83-megawatt nuclear reactor that drives a single 7-blade propeller. Because of nuclear propulsion, it has unlimited range and endurance, limited only by essential supplies. The submarine has a maximum speed of 12 to 15 knots, that's 22 to 28 kilometers per hour when surfaced, and 24 knots, or 44 kilometers per hour, when submerged. It's thought to be able to operate at depths of 1,150 feet or 350 meters. INS Arihant has 4 launch tubes and is able to carry 4 K-4s or 12 K-15 nuclear-capable submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The British publication further reported that satellite imagery had confirmed that at 7,000 tons, the S-4 SSBN was slightly larger with loaded waterline measurement of 125.4 meters compared with 111.6 of the 6,000-ton INS Arihant, the lead boat in the class. It categorized the S-4 and successive boats as Arihant Stretch variants. The magazine went on to infer that the satellite imagery indicated that the newly launched boat's additional length accommodates expansion of the submarine's vertical launch system, which has doubled to support 8 launch tubes. This, it said, would enable the SSBN to carry 8 K-4 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, or alternatively 24 K-15 SLBMs. Submarines of this class have 6 533mm torpedo tubes for launching torpedoes. However, these are intended primarily for self-defense. Ballistic missile submarines are not meant to proactively hunt enemy ships and submarines, but their mission is to lay low and provide the enemy as little chance as possible to detect them. K4 is one of the 2 underwater missiles that were being developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization of India, the other being the smaller K-15. The K-series missiles are named after Indian scientist and former Indian President Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. Viewers may note that he is called the Missile Man of India, as he made major contributions to India's missile programs. K4 SLBM is currently under development, and its pontoon launch is anticipated, whereas the K-15 missile was fully operationalized in August 2018. K4 and K-15 SLBMs have strike ranges of 3,500 kilometers or 2,175 miles and 750 kilometers or around 470 miles, respectively. None of these missiles are MIRV, Multiple Independent Reentry Vehicle, enabled as of now. Both can carry a single nuclear warhead with a yield equivalent to 200 to 250 kilotons of TNT. For comparison, Hiroshima's Little Boy bomb had a yield of 13 to 18 kilotons, whereas Nagasaki's Fat Man bomb had a yield of 20 to 22 kilotons of TNT. In 2018, INS Arihant successfully completed its first deterrence patrol. Hailing INS Arihant's achievement, Indian Prime Minister Modi had said, "A credible nuclear deterrence is the need of the hour." India plans on eventually fielding at least 4 such SSBNs, with an option to build 2 more, to add maritime strike capability to its existing land and aerial-based capacity in delivering strategic weapons. The 4th boat of this class is already under construction, sometimes referred to as S4. India faces a dual threat from Pakistan and China. Both of the countries are nuclear-armed and possess different kinds of nuke delivery options. The ballistic nuclear submarine of Arihant class, armed with K-series missiles, will be the most survivable leg of the triad and the ultimate nuclear deterrence, since they provide the second strike option, as it's almost impossible to take them all out in a first strike. Hence, the progress of S4 has strategic implications.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.